How difficult is nursing today? So when I look at nursing today, in general, I see difficulties and conveniences. But where are the conveniences? Where are the difficulties for technicians, for nurses, for teachers, for professionals? So where are the difficulties? Where are the conveniences? From the point of view of nursing practice, okay? That's my point of view, so it might not be your point of view. But if you watch this video until the end, you might think better about where you are and where you can get to. That will only depend on you. It doesn't depend on anyone else. So let's get to the video because I'm sure it can add a lot to you. Guys, times are different now. I started nursing in 2006, and nursing was already huge, it was already big, but not like it is today, right? We're talking about almost 20 years from when I started to 2026, which we're getting close to now. What do I notice in these 20 years of nursing? At first, I had no nursing experience. But today I realize that what I saw in the first semester and what people see today in the first semester of nursing, guys, theoretically, there haven't been any changes in the curriculum, which should have happened. But what I noticed that's different is the structure of the training, whether it's technical or undergraduate. When I talk about structure, I'm talking about where you graduated from, the institution I graduated from, which I'm very proud of. I wear the shirt a lot. I'm here without doing any ads or anything, but that's how I talk, man. It had its flaws like they all do, but I always defended it. It was an institution that had good labs, had human specimens, like several cadavers there for us to study, had separate specimens. That made our learning a lot easier. Nursing labs, the physical structure was very good then. I mean, I noticed that today when you start a degree, some don't have that. I'm saying that the anatomical specimen is better than a synthetic one because we know that the anatomical specimen has the smell. It's worn out from frequent handling. Something might disappear or a segment could go missing, unlike with another one, but the audience. The point isn't about the material itself, but that there were materials. And today I noticed the deterioration of colleges, nursing courses that are falling apart, very weak labs, general labs that are really weak, and unqualified teachers to teach the basics. My anatomy teacher, he was an anatomist, he was a physical educator, specialized in anatomy, and had a master's degree in anatomy. The guy was really good. I'll even say his name here. Maybe today he's not working as an anatomist anymore, I don't know. But his name was Eduardo Haddad. For those who had classes with him, here's a shout out to Professor Eduardo Haddad. The guy was really awesome. So what I noticed today is that anyone teaches anatomy, and anyone who isn't a specialist in anatomy, teaching anatomy, won't give you what you need to learn about anatomy. This will be your future foundation. Today I noticed it's easier to pass anatomy. In my course, it was a grade 7 practical exam. Right away, you had to do a ton of stuff. You spent a lot of time studying on your own. It wasn't even because there was an assignment. It wasn't because you couldn't pass. It was a high grade. So that was a challenge we had to overcome. But now I see it was really worth it. Today, I see it's much easier. A project to boost grades, students arguing with the teacher to pass them, and teachers who don't even know anatomy teaching anatomy. And so the show goes on. Consider both challenges and benefits. Difficulties may strengthen you, while advantages could create problems later. So keep that in mind. Attention, interest, desire, action. What should I do? Things aren't like they used to be. I wish they were. Perfect. You won't find it, but what can you do to learn? I noticed that most people take the nursing course, whether it's technical or a degree, in a very easy way, like, wow, it's really easy to take a nursing course. People aren't very dedicated because the institution doesn't expect much from them. Why? Because the institution doesn't want to lose the demand, the institution wants it. You're there paying every month, and if you say, wow, I failed this subject, the college man, the coordinator is forced to do something to help you pass. Look how absurd that is. So what happens today? Education quality mirrors student changes. Now, students prefer ease over difficulty. I'm not saying education should be hard, but it should be something to really prepare you as a professional in the future so that you'll have mastery of your profession. You can look at me, I'm 38 years old. I graduated when I was 22, so I have 16 years in the profession. I have classmates who graduated with me who are doing very well and people who couldn't get in, and we had the same opportunities. So here's another point. You can also have the best conditions today. There are many very good colleges nowadays, but if you don't give your best, you won't make it. And I know a lot of people from very weak institutions who are very strong professionals because they went after something extra, something beyond. So when we look at the nursing field, what do I notice? That if you start nursing today and you want to be a really good professional, will you be? If you just want to graduate in nursing, you can do it, and that's fine, it's your choice. So, if you want to be really good, you'll have to dedicate much more than what is required for your education. You must pass the test to complete the course. So, if you raise the bar for yourself, you'll come out better than the majority who are graduating with you. My advice for those who want to be above average is to demand more from yourself than the average. You don't have to pressure yourself. What is a perfect score on a test? I rarely got one and almost never got a 10 in any subject. Anyway, because for me what was most important was having the knowledge about that subject, you know? For me, that was the most important thing. And another thing, you see, difficulty. That's where you have to take action. Genetics. Why do people avoid it? Why are you running from genetics? What will I do with genetics later? Yeah, that's the kind of thinking that won't help you grow in the future. Immunology. People avoid immunoparasitology and parasites. Let me point out, they avoid parasites but can't tell gram-positive from gram-negative bacteria, leading to antibiotic issues. See the problem? Antibiotics? People are curious but often don't know what bacteria are or how they differ from viruses, including their structures. When we're in study mode, focus only on what we need to study and ignore everything else. Later on, there are people who go into nursing wanting to become entrepreneurs. There are people who go into nursing wanting to start a business in the future. Man, are you still too immature to do what you want to do? I might be wrong, but from my point of view, first you graduate, then you do something else. So first you give your best to become a good professional, and then you move on. What do we notice here? There are a lot of people on social media talking about things they don't know, talking about things they don't understand. And it has nothing to do with that, you know? It has nothing to do with that. Not even with the followers who follow these people. But what you have to think about is that the foundation for anyone needs to be solid, and for your foundation to be solid. Man, there's no secret. There's no place in the world that's gonna teach you a way to gain knowledge without sitting your butt down and studying, man. You can have the best video lesson in the world. You can have the best book in the world. You can have the best teacher in the world. If you don't take your time to dedicate yourself to that, to actually learn and not just to take a test, you will keep seeing nursing the way most people see it. Weak nursing, lacking, nursing that attacks each other, nursing that doesn't move forward, nursing that isn't valued. Why do most people see it that way? Is it because they always do the same things? So, if you want to be different, you have to act differently from the very beginning of your training. So, there is a way to rise above average, and it doesn't start at the top, it starts at the bottom. So if you want to be above average, you start at the bottom. There's no point in wanting to rise too quickly. If you rise too quickly, you won't have the strength to go any higher. If you go up fast, you'll end up below average. So the choice in nursing is yours. This is my point of view, and I have guided several students over the past 5 years. And it worked. They solve the basics here, rise up, and even those who graduated long ago succeed once they master the basics. I have proof from several students. If any are here, speak up. That's it, fix your basics. If it wasn't well solved, you can't grow. And that's what we have. In our 2 advanced training programs, we fixed the students' basics because maybe their education was lacking and left gaps. Then we move them to another stage before you assume it's an ad.